Shalom. This is Mr. How are y'all? I haven't done a little video in a while, but listen. So, as I'm researching, right, and I'm quite sure y'all been seeing that a lot of lies are being revealed. A whole lot. Like, if anybody believes in the African slave trade, like that we were stole from Africa, something wrong with you. There's too much information out here about us and our lineage that you would even believe that now, right? That's one thing. And the only people that would believe it is the families that's benefiting from it, which you would call the black middle class or whatever, the boule, right? And like I've been saying from the beginning, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. There are people out here that look like us but are not us. They are against us. They have planted people in our neighborhoods that carry out violent crimes and act all crazy and erratic and, do shit that we don't do. And, got us like, well, what the hell going on? But then there are a lot of us in our own neighborhoods being idiots, right? So what I've ran into, which I knew it, but I didn't know it was how can I put it? I'm having a hard time wording this the way I want to word it without, So I'll just put it out there. All right. So, do y'all remember when Kanye made the statement and said, "You chose to be a slave"? And remember, people went off on him and them people did this and that, all that shit, right? So when he made that statement, during that time, we didn't know what we know now. Well, a lot of us still don't know because people don't want to read or they just want to listen to a liar. But during that time, I hope this ain't stuck. Oh, it did. Somebody was just calling me. During that time, when he made that statement, right, he was not talking about the fake slave trade, African transatlantic slave trade that he told you, because that's not how that went at all. And if you look at like Dane Calloway videos and as many other people now, they literally tell you how it went, and it was not the way you were told. So when he made that statement, he was not speaking on that particular time that everybody seemed to believe. He was speaking about now. And I have a hard time remembering people's names, and I'm quite sure we done went through this enough. But there's a sister on TikTok and YouTube, and she does case file. Like, she tells you laws and statutes that you can use, when they try to entrap you. Well, come to find out that when you tell a judge or one of their magistrates or whatever that you understand what they're saying, so in your mind you're thinking they just answering you, do you comprehend what I'm saying? But under their law, the maritime law, it means that you're submitting your rights and your body or your straw man over to them, meaning giving them permission to do whatever the hell they want to you. And you can actually pretty much opt out of it and tell them, I'm not going to be subject to your bullshit, because they're not following the guidelines of the statute, commandments, and judgments of the Creator. They're following the guidelines of companies, businesses, these big corporations. And these are the people that's actually trying to rule over you. They're trying to subjugate the whole world. because they want it for themselves. And you know, it's deep, y'all. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they might not even let this video go. You know what I mean? So if you don't see it, you don't see it. I don't know, but I'm just getting sick of doing these videos, because this is why, one of the reasons why I don't really do them is because they block everything. You know what I mean? And it's like the only time they let it go through if one of their people, you know, a Caucasian person or somebody outside of us, bring it out. This is like the brother that brought out the thing about Leviathan, that where it tells you in the scriptures, it says when he rises up, his head touches the cloud and he makes the cedar boil. So that tells you that this is a big fucking creature, and the brother showed it. It's the size of a damn continent, right? Which would make sense, because if you read the biography of what's that giant name? Damn, Moses killed him. Damn, I can't think of his fucking name. Og, my fault. Og, you read that, King Og, right? Og tell you that he encountered the Leviathan, and like I guess it's young, and he was saying how Og was saying that he was the size of a mountain, and this damn thing was the size of, like, you know, a continent, pretty much. He ain't use the word continent, but he was like describing how big he is, because he called Moses a grasshopper in his sight, like an ant. That's what he said to Moses. He said, you look like a grasshopper in my sight. So that means Og was big and, you know, humongous. And he was saying that he looked at like nothing compared to this creature. You know what I mean? So, like, you gotta read these books, and then, like I tell people, read the Corbin Bible. I've been putting this shit out here for years, even like with Big Judah when he was bringing out the Book of Mormon. We're not telling you that everything in the book is right, but what when Isaiah say read precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, he's telling you throughout all the books, everything starts to come together. You start to really find out what's up, and you find out that they telling you all this with this so-called angel running around deceiving the world, which is a lie. It's man doing it, and the only one that's really doing something is the seed of Cain, which is Lucifer. Lucifer have children, and they're called the Luciferian race. It's in the book of Isaiah, and the Creator called them a scion of a race. He tells you that there's a race of people that came out of Lucifer. Because listen, Cain, that's not his name. That's the name they gave you, and they separate stuff. All you got to do is use common sense and pay attention to what you read. I've been saying this and saying this and saying this, right? If you look at it, right, the Most High called Lucifer the first murderer. Who was the person that committed the first murder? Cain. Right? So like A and B come right together. It's not hard to figure it out. And when he was saying that he was pretty much one of the most beautiful and all this and that, it's not, and he was exalted, it's not talking about an angel. It's saying that he was on high. He was looked at like how Moses was looked at, like how King David was looked at. That's what he's talking about. He's not telling you it's a fucking angel. These are people. These are people, and it's a race of people that are running around doing all types of shit. And the mark that he put on him, which I'm still looking into, but I think it was vampirism. I think that's what it was. I really do. And even like with people, like when you hear people tell y'all that the Caucasian man is Esau, you listen to that if you want to. That is all set up. That makes them kin to you. And if you read the description of Esau, there's no way that you can get that him being red is his complexion. Because if that's the sense, then David is Caucasian too. Because it tells you David was ruddy red. And if anybody know and you use common sense and just start looking into words, the etymology of words and how they changed the way words, what words mean, certain words mean, red was not pink. It wasn't. Red was copper. That's why you got the reds, the Indian reds. Red was the color of copper. And like, what I don't get, that I can't seem to comprehend, that I don't know how people don't remember this in school, but you pay attention to certain key words in a sentence and it will literally describe what the sentence is talking about. So if I said to you that I came out red all over like a hairy garment, am I talking about my skin or am I talking about my fucking hair? You tell me, leave me a comment and tell me, what, am I talking about my flesh or am I talking about my hair? I said, when I was born, I came out red all over like a hairy garment. Am I talking about my hair or my flesh? You tell me. And if you say flesh, yeah, you need to go get your ass back in a time machine and go back to school and pay attention to what the teacher was teaching you, because I clearly told you what I was talking about, and I clearly told you what red mean. What red? What am I speaking on when I said red? I gave you a description. So, you know, I mean, this is the shit that we be talking about. You get people get up here with these so-called scholarships and these so-called smart guys, and they deceive us and they deceive you. They speak smooth things to make you believe the bullshit that they being paid to spread. The lies. You know what I'm saying? Tell me, like, even like when you go into the Jesus situation, right? Where did it ever call Jesus David? It never called that man that. It always called him son of David. Which, how can he be a son of David if Joseph ain't even David's son? One of his sons. So you know, you gotta, like, listen. You got to start really paying attention, right? And if Joseph is so-called from the bloodline of David, right? And Mary got pregnant by a spirit, how is that fucking Joseph's son? So this is why they switched it from the son of the creator to the creator. And the thing is, like I keep telling people, all you got to do is start reading parts in there where they try to refer you back to the Torah and read what the Torah is saying about that point that they made, like that Matthew, I think it's 26, where it says, out of Egypt have I called my son. Like, you know, that one, I think that's Matthew 26. And when you read that, you show me where the fuck it says Jesus was called out of Egypt. The only begotten son of the Most High was called out of Egypt, because it don't say shit about him. Not a goddamn thing. Nothing. And that's in Hosea 11:1. That's the only scripture in the Torah that talks about out of Egypt have I called my son. And it literally says, when Israel was a child, then I loved him, and I called my son out of Egypt. Right? So that's the same way if I said about one of my sons. I said, when so-and-so was a child, then I loved him. That means I loved my son when he was young, right? And I told him to bring his ass home from Michael house, or Timmy house, or John house, or whoever the fuck house you want to be at. That's what the hell that's saying. And as they called, so they went. So it went from singular to plural. So that means that was a group of people that was called, not one person. And it says then they, because it went from singular to plural, meaning that when he uses the word Israel, Jacob, him, her, my bride, It's talking about a nation of people. It clearly is not hard to figure out. You can go in any scripture and figure that out. It's not hard, right? So it says, as they called, so they went. And they began to make oblations to Balaam. Now, my problem is this, right? All right, so if that's talking about dude, then that means that dude was making sacrifices to Balaam. So now if he's the son of the Most High, meaning that he was making sacrifices to Balaam, and if he is the Most High, then you telling me that the Most High was making sacrifices to an idol. Because that's all, it's all the same, isn't it? It's actually what, like the third sentence? And it just keep going and going, and then it even goes into the part where it talks about where it says Herod's supposed to kill this woman, Rachel's children. Well, if you read that, it literally tells you what it's talking about, and it's not that ain't what it's talking about. I think it was Manasseh, one of the tribes, was took off into captivity. They were took into captivity, and the Creator said, your sons are coming home. How can dead babies come home? He told her, I'm sending your children home, your boys. Like, this is what man, listen, that's why you gotta read. You gotta stop listening to these fucking liars. And if any of y'all don't realize this by now, which you should, any preacher that has I don't believe none of them, but they got a 501c3, they are paid to deceive you. They are the same people that sat down and helped these fucking people take your neighborhoods. Same people that helped these people take your land. Take the deeds to your land. The same people that helped them take the Freeman Bank. Your pastors. Your 501c3, your government agents. So when Kanye said, yes, you chose slavery. Yes, you did. All of us. Some of us was born into it because our parents chose it. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, we did this to ourselves. To be honest with you, we did. Because and think about it, y'all. The funny thing is, right, when you read the Torah and it's talking about, like, you know, all the stuff our people going through and this and that, it literally tell you that evil men out of Israel said that they don't want to be impoverished, right? Because we was under judgment, right? And it said, come, let us go and live under the laws of the Grecians, the Greeks. And let us do their laws and their stuff so we can live good. Well, let's just use a little common sense, right? Ain't the New Testament all about Greek gods? Roman, that's what the Roman gods are, Greek gods. That whole New Testament, isn't it written in Greek? Kind of funny, ain't it? Kind of funny. You know, like, even you got people telling you, oh yeah, the New Testament is telling about the things that's supposed to happen. No, the Torah tells you about things that's supposed to happen, and they happening. Everything that the Torah said that's going to happen is happening. And then you got another thing, right? Even with this thing with you know, old boy, because I really don't like saying the dude's name. I ain't supposed to say it, right? But even with that, right? So you got to be telling me that either Ezekiel, Jeremiah, who else was it? Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and it's another one. I think it's Hosea, right? Those three prophets that was chosen by the Creator, not by some man walking around, you know, saying that he the son of the Most High, whatever you want to call him, right? Those three prophets, right? they all said that David will be prince forever, and the Most High will be your king. It did not say no man will be your king. It says the Most High, the Creator, will be your king, and David will be your prince. And in Ezekiel, it actually goes a little deeper into it. It literally tells you that the Most High says that he will raise David up from amongst you. I will raise David up from amongst you. And then you see the videos with people saying they looking for somebody. They looking for that prophet. Y'all know that. Y'all know them videos when people say they why you think they doing the 23s and B's and the DNAs and this and that? And why y'all think they doing this shit? Who do you think they looking for? You think they don't know? So it literally tell you that I will raise David up from amongst you. So how is it that the king of Israel is going to come on a cloud like Goku, but it's telling you that the prince of Israel, that will be the prince forever, will be risen up from amongst you? And then also, right, it says that the whole world will see dude, right, coming on this cloud or whatever, right? Well, anybody in their right mind know that you can't be in the presence of the Most High. This is why in Ezekiel, when it starts getting into about the temple and stuff being rebuilt, because it said we will rebuild all the desolate places. When it talks about all this stuff happening, being redone, right, it says that the Creator will come down and enter into the east gate, right? And that gate will be locked, right? And only the prince can come and enter and sit down and eat bread before the Creator. That's just like with the what they call the judgment chair. Remember that? They would go in and they would tie a rag or a rope around one of the judges, and if the judge had sinned, he would die and before the presence of the Creator, because he can't be, sin can't be around him, and they would have to pull that dead body out, and people would be scared because they done broke the law or they didn't repent for it or whatever. So, like, y'all don't see what's going on here? Like, something ain't right. So the Creator in his natural form can't be in his presence. And then you get the thing with the nobody's seen the Most High but me. That oh my God, so you gonna just cause an accident? Fucking asshole. I hate dumbass people, bro. They be in a rush to get nowhere. He did all that to get right there. Just stupid shit. But irregardless, people just irks my nerves with this. So, like, even with that, right? If you look at just the whole thing, they said nobody's seen the Father but me, right? So who the fuck was Abraham talking to? And when Ezekiel got picked up by his hair and took him into the temple, who the hell was he? Who picked him up? Himself? Like, all these things that's going on, who's doing it? What the fuck is going on? Who's doing all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all gotta read, man. Like, y'all just letting people tell y'all shit and you not reading nothing. You gotta read. Because if you don't read, you're gonna be sitting there and you're gonna be looking crazy. And then this is how, and I told somebody that if you go strictly Torah, right? If you go strictly Torah, like somebody try to come at you, you know how they try to debate you and stuff, and you stay strictly Torah, there's nothing they can do. Because you know why? Because you stand in the words of the Creator. But when you go into that lie, that other book, and you trying to justify that shit, this is where they get people and they tie them up. And they get them because you're trying to use something that's not of the Creator to prove a point. And this is why people be looking crazy. That's exactly why. If you went strictly Torah, nobody wouldn't be able to deal with a person that goes strictly out the Torah, because they can't even use anything in the New Testament. They would have to literally prove due through the Torah, and you can't. You could read stuff that say, a judge is going to come or whatever like this, and da 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 da. Okay, what's his name? And then they'll say, well, he wasn't given his name. So then, it's not hard. Like, okay, so all of a sudden, now the creator don't know nobody's name until they're born and given a name. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff, y'all. It's a lot. Like, you just got to pay attention and read. And when you go and read them other books, and you read the precepts, and you start putting the personality together, you will realize what you're dealing with. You can clearly tell that there are different personalities in these books. You can tell. It's not hard. It really ain't. You got one personality where the Most High says, a man pluck your eye out, you pluck his out, right? An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Then you, all of a sudden, now you talking about, when somebody slap you, give him another cheek to slap too. Right? Peace, peace, peace. Love, love, love. There's no such thing as an all-loving creator. That don't even make sense. Because if the creator was all love, then why is this happening? Why is all this stuff happening? Where's all this evil coming from? And why don't he intervene with that? Why is he allowing evil to permeate more than love? Or is it that he loves evil too, so he can't do nothing to it? But evil just out here just killing everybody. Blowing up fucking hospitals and doing all this shit to kids and kidnapping kids and drinking their blood and all kinds of shit. You go in the supermarket to buy a damn steak. It's a fucking human body part. Really? He can't do nothing about none of that, right? Because his love stops you from combating evil. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Or would it be more to say, I create the evil, I kill, I heal, I make alive, I the Most High, I do all these things. There's no God beside me that can save you but me. Don't that make way more sense? And as long as you keep calling and worshiping these guys, old sons of Israel, y'all gonna live in it. You know what I mean? Tell me. But I'm gonna let y'all go, y'all. Shalom.